Hi guys, this is Bess Boomer back with you for a walk and talk on this beautiful sunshiny day in Arizona. Uh, so today I think it's about 69 degrees. I think it's going to get up into the upper 70s. So it'll be another beautiful day. I hear that it's going to get a little warmer, unusually warmer next week. Not something to look forward to, really. If you like my content, please like and share and consider subscribing. I'm doing this for fun. I love doing it. Keeps my computer skills up. I'm learning a little editing along the way. So much fun. And I talk about different things, so all of them might not really appeal to you. But so be it. Skip over if you don't like it. Listen if you do. So today I said I was going to review a book. I read all the time. Many books. This one that I finished reading is about brain health. It's called Memory Rescue. And it's by Daniel Amen, MD. It was written in 2017. I've read a number of his books. He's written a lot of them. And they're about brain health. And this one really caught my eye because it has to do with memory. And I thought, oh, good. I need to improve my memory big time. I can't remember past dates. And, I know part of it's the aging process, but I want to do as much as I can to keep my memory intact. So I thought, I'm going to read this book and see what it has to say. He does list, and I haven't taken this yet, but it might be very interesting if you look it up, Google it. It's Brain Fit Web Neural, and it takes about 35 minutes to do, and it's a test of your brain fitness. Maybe I'm afraid to take it, but no, I plan to. 35 minutes, I can do that. But it apparently, it's an objective assessment of how your brain works in 17 specific areas. So tell me that wouldn't be interesting for about anybody to take. He's one of the only doctors who actually looks at your brain. He says, look at all the doctors who treat you for, say an ache in your knee, or, they look at your knee, they x-ray your knee. Well, he does a SPECT scan on your brain, and it's actually looking at the outside of your brain, which is very interesting. It looks at the topography of your brain. So when you have little indentations and craters, he can tell just how damaged your brain is, and it can be damaged from many things, from impacts to, poor living skills. So it's a functional brain image. He explains the risk factors for cognitive impairment, which should be of interest to about everybody. Dementia, we hear more and more about that. And, there are things that you can do to keep your brain in better shape. And so he goes through each and every one of those and explains what you can do to have the best impact on that particular area of your brain function. So he talks about blood flow, and of course we all know every place you look says exercise, and there's nothing on the negative side for exercise. You want to keep that blood flowing freely. Exercise is one way to do that. Inflammation. He talks about inflammation of the brain. You all know, if you're overweight, that inflammation's connected with that. And inflammation, oh my gosh, is not good for your body in any way, shape, or form. It's connected with so many illnesses, heart attacks and such. And so, that's something that you want to be aware of, and they can test for that. Genetics, that you can't do a whole lot about. But if you know that, for instance, a relative had dementia, you know that you better be taking seriously all the things that you can do to impact your brain health. And I know, if I had dementia, my family, I would take it so seriously. Head trauma is another one, and that you have a lot of control over, but he talks about such things as, getting in a car accident, falling, and he really is negative about any child playing football. And I have read books on that, and it just scares the living daylights out of me, although my grandson now is done with football, and I'm glad. I am absolutely happy. I would not want him to play football in college, and I was leery even in grade school after reading some of these books, because concussions are brain injuries, and they leave lasting ramifications, and people don't realize it. And I know football is, it's an American sport, and everybody's gung-ho about it, and it's fun to watch, and you have your favorite team, and how can you possibly give this up? But my brain health would be more important. And my grandson, Caleb, is a very, very smart kid, A's and B's, mostly A's, and he's going, headed off to college this next year, and I want his brain to be in good shape. Also, those concussions and brain injuries, they're finding that people come down with Parkinson's and other things later on, aside from dementia. So there are so many ramifications with brain injuries, and whatever you can do to keep your brain healthy, intact, is a pretty good idea. He talks about retirement and aging. There's not a lot you can do about the aging part of it. The retirement, he's talking about that in the way that you want to learn something new every day. Learn new skills. It's using your brain in different ways that build different routes throughout your brain, and is a really, really good thing. And too many people sit in retirement and don't do anything, don't try anything new. Of course, languages is a great thing to pick up, to learn a second language. Music, that's another thing. But really, he talks about just about anything. Don't do one thing over and over and over, but continue to try new things. So I could do more of that. I'm an input person, so I'm always looking and reading and researching, and that's good. And I'm doing now some editing skills and computer skills, and that's good. But one of the things I really love to do is learn Spanish, and I talk about it, and I just don't do it. I've taken Spanish in the past. I had 4 years of Spanish in high school, and I could probably pick it up again, pretty easily. It's just that having that initiative to do it. Here's one of his suggestions, and of course everybody's heard this, and it's been drilled into people's minds, and that is don't smoke, don't drink in excess. The smoking is hard to give up if you are addicted. I have family members who smoke. My mother smoked till she died at 94, and although you couldn't say she died from smoking, she didn't have cancer, but she did have arterial disease. She lost both of her legs. Not diabetic, but her blood circulation was not good. Although she was as smart as a tack until the day she died. So apparently her brain, the circulation there was pretty good. So, but smoking, it did have an impact on her life in that she lost both legs. And neuropathies and cancers and all those things, we all know it. It's just you're so addicted that it's really hard to quit. But he suggests that you do everything in your power to quit. Also, taking omega-3 fish oil tablets, which a doctor told me to do, and I did for a while, and then I quit. And when I read this book, I thought, well, there's a couple of doctors telling me that that's a good supplement to take. There aren't a lot of supplements that get such great recommendations. Glucosamine does, and I do take that also for a different reason. But so I got back on the omega-3s. And here's the one: lose weight, have a normal BMI. And, I run, I ride bikes, I exercise, 4 or 5 times a week. And it's aerobic exercise, but, I don't lose weight. Of course, I love to eat, and I love to bake. And excuses, though. You should get your BMI in line where it should be, which is 25 or lower. And so look it up, how to figure your BMI, but that's a tough one. But, that's an important one, too, that feeds into everything else about circulation and inflammation and your brain health. So really a good book. It's called Memory Rescue, again, by Daniel Amen, MD, and he's written such a ton of them. And, it's just very interesting how he's gone about his studies of the brain. And like I say, he actually images the brain and looks at the brain. And you can tell before and after treatment what your brain looks like. And it does change. So very interesting. But so that's it for today. I hope you'll like and share and subscribe. I'd sure appreciate it. So until next time, take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.